So for those of you who think that I'm overly positive and too easy on things, that I've drunk the Kool-Aid, this video about Adepticon I've had a sip or two. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Glacial Geek video. I am Phil the Glacial Geek, and I definitely didn't have to do an outtake because of chugging that entire thing did not make me have a giant burp that would have been extremely rude to put onto the video. That said, I am coming to you here with a video about my experience at Adepticon 2024. It was my very first experience with Adepticon. I went to it because I was part of the factory team, but it is something that I've wanted to do basically since I got into the hobby, hearing so much about Adepticon, how much fun it is, all the people that go to all the different events saying that it's like their favorite one to go to. So I've always heard it being great. I've always wanted to go, never got the opportunity or made the opportunity to go. So now, given the opportunity to go for the Army Painter Factory team, I was extremely excited to go, and I thought I had a vague idea of what to expect when I was going to go there. And I was completely blown away and completely surprised by everything in the greatest of ways. It started with me flying into Chicago and driving out to Schaumburg, Illinois, where it is held, and then starting right off the bat, getting into it and helping them set up and build the booth for the Army Painter that I would spend a lot of time in that weekend, but actually I was loving every single second that I was there. I got the opportunity to be a part of the booth team there, either working on some painting to show off the paints, talk to people about the new Fanatic paints, just kind of give my experience on what I've had with the different lines, letting people try out the speed paints and the Fanatics, and just kind of talking to them about it and seeing what they could do and helping them in understanding what the paints were. Because again, I've talked about this before, but I'm part of the factory team. I've enjoyed the paints, and that's why I'm part of the factory team. I don't enjoy the paints because I'm part of the factory team. So it became very easy for me to talk to people, be open with people, and just kind of express my my love and my joy for what it is in this hobby that I feel like they could do if they're looking for paints. I wasn't going to sit there and try to sell people on paints that they don't need, but if they're looking for something new, if they're looking for a change in their paints, if they're just looking for paints and they want to try something, they're the way to go, in my opinion. And I was very happy to be able to talk to people about that and show it off and have them experience it firsthand themselves, so they didn't just have to take my word, because my word's no better than anyone else's, if I'm being honest, other than the fact that I pride myself in being honest about what my true feelings are. So I got to spend a lot of time in the booth, got to meet a lot of people. People came and got to see me, which was exciting. Having all the people at these events that come up and just say hi, or that they like my videos, or that they're just happy to shake my hand and take a selfie with me. It really fills me with this. It fills you with a sense that maybe you're not just an idiot standing in front of the camera making videos for nobody. There's people out there, that actually want to see these things and want to understand what it is that I'm saying, and want to kind of hear what I have to say. And to have people say it in person makes a big deal. And I really appreciate all the kind comments that I get, but it's a little bit different when someone's looking you in the eye and saying it's hard for me to just swipe past it and ignore it and then focus on the crappy comments that are going to come after it than it is to ignore someone that's standing in front of you saying, I really appreciate all the videos that you make, because it makes a big difference to me to feel like I'm not just spewing out into the void, that I'm not just making a mistake by putting out another video. So getting to meet them is just it filled me with a lot of joy. It filled me with a lot of purpose, and it filled me with a lot of understanding that what I'm doing isn't just drivel. That what I'm doing is there's people out there that really appreciate what I'm doing, and it helped me to feel to fuel myself to want to keep doing more and keep pushing more and keep trying more, because it's sometimes it's difficult to remember that when you're stuck you're stuck in your office here in the glacial lair, trying to figure out what it is that I'm doing, and just trying to make videos and paint models and do whatever, and it's hard to. It's sometimes it's easy to forget that there's people out there that actually want to see what you got going on. So I have to say thank you to everyone who came up and said hi to me. I absolutely enjoyed every single interaction that I had with people this weekend. It was wonderful. It really was wonderful, and it felt amazing to be able to see people and meet people and shake hands and understand and take selfies and do everything that I did this weekend. And it's all because of you that I'm able to do this. So thank you for that. So thank you to all the viewers that have wanted to keep seeing my videos and allow me to do these kind of things, because it's wonderful. It really is wonderful, and I thank you very much from the bottom of my heart that you can do that. So doing all of that, I also got to meet a whole bunch of incredible creators while I was there, fellow creators that are also putting out incredible videos and Instagram and TikTok and all sorts of different ways to produce content around this hobby that we all love and enjoy. And it was just wonderful to be able to meet them and see them, shake hands with them and tell them how much I enjoyed their videos, for, some of them to say that they enjoy my videos back, the ones you knew. And it was awesome, because it also makes it feel good that I'm not just alone and drifting in there. I know I had the video about not being alone in our struggles, but sometimes it's hard to remember that, you're not alone, and even just in the things that you do. It can become isolating, especially when you're just like a one-man band like I am. So it's nice to meet other creators that are kind of going through the same thing and creating their own content and, facing the same kind of doubts that we all face as people, and realizing that they're all just people, wonderful people, and people that were very welcoming to talk to some weirded beardo over here that was able to just like say hi, thank you for what you do, and take a selfie or so. So, I got to see some people that I've met before that I got to see again, like Dave and the Mini Wargaming crew. They were there with Ravage Star, which was amazing. Got to see them. I always love getting to see them. I got to meet Darcy Bono Creations for the first time. Darcy Bono, she's a wonderful person. It was great to actually meet her in person. I've loved her videos. And we got to, shake hands, take picture. It was wonderful. I got to meet Zambies for the first time. I got to meet Ninjan, I think for maybe the second time, but we briefly did it, but got to meet him again. I got to meet tons of different people. And I just have absolutely enjoyed every single interaction that I had. There was not a single jerk that I met that whole weekend, and I had people coming up to me that I, like Dave Taylor, who knew who I was. And I was like, how is this? Like, how do you know what I'm doing? And it's just wonderful to see these people and meet these people that make this hobby space better by their simple existence and what they do. So it was wonderful to be able to do that. I got to meet Bill Making Stuff, who I love his videos, and I got to talk to him for a while, which was really great. I got to meet Brent from Goobertown Hobbies. I got to meet eBay Rescue, and the name, oh my god, I'm going to put it in the bottom here, but the name is, my brain is oatmeal at this point. This is still me coming back from Adepticon and trying to recover. But I got to meet them and told them that I love their videos and stuff. eBay Rescues, he actually got a commended piece from an eBay rescue that he did. So he was made, the videos out there of his piece, and he got the commended in Adepticon, and that was just like a wonderful thing, wonderful moment to see someone like doing what they're doing and then be, rewarded for what they've done. So, and it was just nice to be able to talk to them and just see them. And of course, there was the whole factory team was there. This is the first time all four of us were there at the same time. So Uncle Adam, Sam, and Eric, we all got together and we got to see each other again. And I got to meet Eric for the first time in person. I got to meet Tyler from the Army Painting team. He does their social media work and he does a beautiful painting job. I got to meet Thomas from Army Painter. He came over. Bo, who's the founder of Army Painter. Adam was there. Of course, he's the wrangler of us crazy people, and Kat and Caleb running the booth and stuff like that. It was wonderful to see them, and it felt good. It felt like I was like back with like a family. So it really felt wonderful to be with them all weekend and just enjoy their company and just have a great time. There's something about Adepticon that just feels so different than other cons that I've been to, like LVO or Nova, where it feels like I think what it is that it's in Schaumburg, Illinois. And no offense to Schaumburg, it's a lovely place, but there's not like a lot going on. It's not the Strip in Vegas, you know what I mean? And it kind of, everyone was kind of there and stayed there, and you were with each other for the whole weekend. You were just enjoying each other's company. You would see each other hanging out at the bar in the evenings and at the hotel there. And you would just be able to just enjoy everyone's company for the whole weekend because everyone's there. That's what they're there to do, and that's what they're there when they're hanging out. They're not kind of like wandering off, going doing other things. So it kind of felt like much more of a community thing, that everyone was together, everyone was there, and everyone kind of stayed there for the whole weekend and got to enjoy each other's company and meet with each other and just have a really wonderful time. I got to see the Golden Demon stuff for the first time. And I'm telling you, it's very inspiring to see some of the work that they've done there. Sam Lenz from the Army Painter team just did a fantastic job. Got a bunch of pins. He also got a silver for one of his pieces in Golden Demon, and then he got a bunch of golds, like in Resin Beast through the Creature Caster. He also won awards with the P3 awards, and it was just like wonderful to see him just excel at what he's doing. And he's an incredible painter, doing incredible stuff and creating incredible content. It was awesome to just be like on side with him and just be able to like cheer him along and see how great he did, and just be able to see it all. On top of all of this, like the community aspect of it, I also took part in the 40K Friendly, which is the most bonkers tournament that I've ever taken part in my entire life, and I absolutely loved it. So I was part of Team White, which you can see here. We got cool bandana, which I'll show off here. Just ripping off my chest there, my neck there. So it's a cool Adepticon 2024 bandana with the white, and they divided you into teams. So there was a bunch of different teams, about 13 people per team. And for the pairings, what they would do is they would be like, all right, white and yellow are going to face off against each other, on these tables here, go. And you just went there and you faced off, paired off against someone from the other team there. You would play your game. If you won, you got 10 points for your team. If you tied, you got 5 points for your team. And if you lost, you got 2 points for your team. And then you would rank the friendliness. And every single one of my opponents were just incredible people. And we had a ton of fun. And they do everything they can with this tournament to make it impossible to try hard. They make it a 1,500 points to start off with, which means that you're not you don't have the honing of tournament level lists that you could just cut and paste and go with. They make additional stratagems within it. So this was themed as Back to the Future themed. And they had additional stratagems there, including they had the green, yellow, and red logs as stratagems. And essentially what it would do is each of these for 1 CP, you could add 2. The green log was add 2 to the move characteristic of your model. And then after you make your move, you roll a d6, and on a 6, you take 2 mortal wounds. You can do the yellow log, which is doubles your move, and you roll a d6 at the end. And on a 5 or a 6, you take d6 mortal wounds, or d3 mortal wounds. I think it was 1 d3, and then on the red one, you could triple your move. Roll the d6, and on a 4+, you take d6 plus 2 mortal wounds. Twice during the tournament, I had a 5-man intercessor squad use the red log, roll for an advance, roll a 6, so they move 24 inches across the board, roll the damage, and then 3 of them just disappear from the mortal wounds from that. And it was just so much fun. I like to imagine that they were it was like a spaceship coming back into re-entry and just blowing past, and then as the guys just burnt off and flew off to the side, and you were left with whoever was there at the end just shooting across the board. And it was just so much fun. We were just back and forth, and then they would have times when they would just interrupt. They'd be like, all right, everyone stop, we're gonna raise a glass to the friendly here. And then, you would drink, and it's if you finish whatever beverage you're drinking right now, that can now be put down on the board as impassable terrain. So all of a sudden, like, I'm sitting there, you know, like, chugging a Mountain Dew like I did this right here, and able to put it down, the can down as a piece of terrain. We had one point when he was talking about, it was like the third round, so it was like the third movie. So he's like, all of a sudden he was like, all right, the DeLorean just got hit by the train here. He's like, you can each person chooses one of their opponent's vehicles or monsters. It's dead. It's gone. It just blows up, and then roll the mortal wounds. You don't have to roll to see if it does mortal wounds. It does mortal wounds. Roll them. So we just had, like, all of a sudden my Redemptor just like exploded, and my opponent's like land speeder just exploded. And it was just like so much fun, like ridiculous. And everyone's yelling and shouting. You might be able to hear a little bit of my voice. It got shot again because I was screaming and yelling and having so much fun with everyone. We did a march through the hall here, just chanting about being the 40K friendly. And apparently it made it onto like the stream for like the championships that were going on. And it was just like so much fun. Just like a ridiculous amount of fun. I think my team came in third. I don't care. And no one cared. And that was the whole point. It was just like so much fun to just like not have to care and just be able to enjoy rolling dice with friends basically for a couple hours there, and just enjoy the day there doing that. So I just had a ton of fun being able to do it. And all three of my opponents were just incredible people that I had a lot of fun with. So I really appreciate them for doing that. So I had the tournament. I had all the people that I got to meet. I got to spend the time in the booth being there. I also got to go and do some shopping because, of course, I'm a nerd and I want to spend my money when I see there. And the options that they had there at the dealer hall were incredible. There were so many companies there with so many different models, so many different tools and hobby stuff that they had. It was so much fun to be able to walk through and see it. And, this is from Tectonic Craft Studios. Actually, Kat actually bought this for me, so thank you, Kat. It's like a name tag with for that, so I could paint this up and just have it as like a memento for 2024 here. I did get the, as you saw before, I got the glass and the dice set from the actual set here, so you also see on the t-shirt, which is kind of cool. From the official one here when I picked up my badge. I actually have two badges because I've got one that's the exhibitor for the Army Painter, and then one that's a regular one that I had paid for so I could do like the tournaments and stuff like that, which was a ton of fun. I got to go to Black Site Games. I got to see all the stuff that they've got going on there. Whittle Goblin's got her, was demoing. I got to meet her and say hi to her. Didn't get a picture with her, I don't think. But I got to see her, and she's got this new Night Thirst game that she's working on, and she was showing demos of all weekend. There was a whole bunch of their other games. And I actually got to pick up this one by Malev, who's also an incredible guy. I got to talk to him for a while, see what's going on. And this is like a King of the Hill like wrestling thing where you kind of you basically, the whole idea is he's making like a whole world with these like wrestling game things where these combats are going on. But essentially you roll to see what kind of wrestler that you have, and then you fight to try to stay on top of like an arena, like a thing there. So it seems really fun, but it was also awesome just to see him and talk to him and see what he's been doing. He's doing great stuff. So go check out the stuff over there at Black Site Games. I also went to Neko Galaxy and picked up a like 75 mil model here. This is Zen. This is the one where it's like she's like on top of like a jet bike thing. It looks super cool, but I'm excited to try some. I painted one a sculpt by them, which was like back in like 2020, and I loved it. It was like a bigger bust kind of thing, and this is the similar kind of like scale, and I'm excited to try something different, like paint something that's not just a wargaming model, just to give something new with the painting, because let me tell you, it's almost impossible to go to Adepticon and not be inspired by all the painting. There was the Armies in Parade. They had the Golden Demon. There were just the people that were there with their models for all the different things. It was just like some incredible painters doing incredible things. And it was so inspiring that it just makes you want to do more and paint more and try more and try different things. And it was just so much fun to be able to go there and see it all. So it inspired me to want to do that. It also inspired me to go and try out a new game that are maybe not new for the world, but new for me. This game is called Bushido, and I bought into it pretty heavy. I was talking to them in the booth about it because I kind of saw their booth and I was like, oh, that seems interesting. I'd kind of gone into this into here wanting to pick up some models that were non GW stuff in a different kind of game, and it's like on a 2x2 board. And it's basically small scale skirmish games that you have. And it's like, you can buy some of these. They have starter sets and themed warbands and stuff that are like straight out of the box. You've got enough for like a tournament standard game. And then you can build up your list. You can try to buy more models that they have for there. But the models seem really, really interesting. They're kind of a mix between true scale and heroic scale. It's kind of like a middle ground. So they're not quite as exaggerated as like a GW style, but they're not quite as true scale as like an Infinity. It's somewhere in between, which makes for a nice level of painting there. So heroic scale is like fun to paint too. And true scale has always been a little bit fiddly for me. So something in the middle seemed like it would be an interesting take on it. And just like the genre and the theme of Bushido seems really interesting and fun and different from what I've done before. So I'm excited to give it a shot, build and paint some models and maybe try the game. I'm not as worried about trying the game as much as I am wanting to just try to build and paint some cool looking models, is what it comes down to. And maybe, who knows, maybe next year when I go to Adepticon, I could sign up for a Bushido tournament or something like that, and give that a try. Because that's something I've been thinking about, like seeing all the different tournaments that are going on there. So at other things like LVO, like the Games Workshop tournaments, like take a big chunk, a big presence of it. Here at Adepticon, like the GT was like one day for most people. And it was like 4 games, 1 day, that's all you got. Like that's, unheard of in most tournaments, like that you would have that for your GT. They did do a bigger deal for like their teams tournament, because that's like their big push. That's like their big thing, because that is a big emphasis on like themed display boards and theme and dressing up and like having all these like big, huge, awesome things that you just like put together as your team. And it's more of a celebration of like the hobby and everything involved in the hobby into one place. And that's what the emphasis is. So it's kind of cool to see like all this extra emphasis on, like there was just as much space for like Atomic Mass games as there was for Games Workshop games. So you had like Legion, you had X-Wing going on, you had Marvel Crisis Protocol, like all these things going on at the same time as you have like basically the same amount of space as you had for GW stuff, which was super interesting to see, because that's not the standard that I've seen in a lot of other places. So it was kind of cool and inspiring to see like a lot of other games getting a lot more space for it than you would see at some other tournaments. So it was kind of fun to see that, and kind of makes you want to like maybe try something different, try something new. So who knows, maybe that's what I'll be doing, because I feel like one of the things that I left Adepticon with was this feeling that I just want to be a part of the hobby, and I just want to be part of this, and I love it. And it's not any particular part of the hobby that I want to be a part of, any particular part of the hobby that I just want. It's that I want it all, and I love it all. And I love the models, I love the painting, I love the games, I love the people, I love the gathering, I love all of it. And it was just wonderful and fulfilling and physically exhausting. I was dead on my feet by the end of the weekend, but I had so much fun getting to talk to everyone and shake hands and just be like so much fun. It was just so great. It really was so great to be able to be there and see everyone and just kind of like do some awesome things with each other and just show off why we love this hobby. So but my big takeaway from this, like I said, is just a love of the hobby, a love of the people in this hobby, and a love of the potential that this hobby has. And my biggest recommendation would be to go. This was my first, and it will definitely not be my last. I definitely plan on going next year, and as many years as they'll have it, and as many years as they'll have me. So definitely give it a shot if you can. I also got to meet, I can't even believe I forgot to mention this. I got to meet two guys from my Patreon Discord as well. These are people that I've talked to online for years now, and finally getting to shake their hands and just like be able to like see each other and like shake hands and just be like, it was so fun to be able to see each other in person after only knowing each other online. That's one of the beauties of these things, is that it creates like a place where we can all come together and we can all see each other and we can all enjoy each other's company, enjoy the presence of what this hobby can mean for all of us. So that's my biggest takeaways, is just like the community aspect of it, the love of the hobby, and just like how inspiring it all was to just be there and be part of it all. So I hope this was at all informative. It was basically me just gushing about the awesome time that I had. But I honestly feel like it was something that is just definitely worth looking into. If it's got all aspects that you want. If you want the hyper competitive, they do have like the GT that's there. And the beauty of going to a GT at something like this is that it's only that one day, so it gives you the rest of the weekend to try to just enjoy and do whatever you want else in the hobby and still get in your competitive, like hyper competitive games that you got there. But if you're just looking for fun, they've got like the 40K friendly. They've got narrative campaigns that were going on. Sergeant Steele, shout out to him. He was running the narrative campaign there, and apparently that went super well. I got to see a bunch of like really cool Titans up in the 30K realm. I got to see the store owner, Gene, from up at Tier 1 Cards and Games. So any old school watchers of this channel will know that's where I got my channel start. I was doing battle reports in her game store. So I got to see her. She was there. And it was just so much fun. Like so much fun just to be there and experience it and just feel the community, feel the power of it, and just like be inspired. So I highly recommend you give it a shot and you go if you can, because, as my friend Chris, who I've been friends with since before I was born, our moms have been friends since they were 12. I saw him there too, and as he very knowledgeably put, you don't find time, you make time. So if you can put together the time, make this a priority. Save up for the trip, make it out there and make this the kind of thing that you make a priority, because it's worth it. It really is worth it to just be able to go there, experience the fellowship and have fun. And I had a burger with Doritos on it and Mountain Dew aioli, the Adepticon burger at Kuma. Oh man, it was just like, I mean, I can't explain how awesome the whole weekend was. So I hope this was informative. I hope it was enjoyable. I hope you enjoyed it, because I certainly did. I have been Phil, the Glacial Geek, as always. And until next time, stay safe and have fun. Because, man, I had a lot of fun.